Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Coming to you with special edition trucker news. Come on with it. Cue the intro. Never mind. We don't have time for intros around here. We're getting straight to business. So let's talk about some trucker news. Special edition. We're going to focus on one story and one story only. We're going to dance to one song and you're going to love it. Not really. It's probably going to trigger you a little bit. It's going to make your blood boil, but hang around because we got to talk about it. So adapt or die is the theme, I guess, because, let's face it. Right now, we get hammered. We get hammered from all sides, man. My profit and loss looks like more like a loss these days. Come on. But we got a news story here from Freight Waves. I want to talk about this. This headline is, U.S. exports even more oil as domestic gasoline and diesel prices spike. There you go. So now every time I talk about oil and gas and all this, there's always some guy in the comments that goes like this. I'm gonna reenact how it looks when he does it. We don't use that oil. America doesn't need that oil. That guy. Get out of here. Go away. Go sit in the corner while the adults talk. Oil is a global commodity. There's not a country out there that doesn't use oil. So the fact is, every drop that's not being pumped right now or pipelined over to where it needs to be is hurting the global supply. But even more so, you're going to like this story because it talks about how much diesel we're shipping overseas right now. With our limited refining capacity, we're shipping it over to Europe. Come on. So let's talk about it. I thought about this the other day. When they ran over that last election, they said build back better. Nobody asked where they were going to do that. They didn't claim they were going to build back America. You know what I mean? They didn't say make America great again. They said build back better. Probably in Europe for all I know. But let's get to the story here. Let's get to it. It says January through May crude exports at all-time high, refined product exports back to pre-COVID levels. I'm sorry, but when I'm paying $6 a gallon for diesel at the pump, and then when I go home, I'm paying $5 a gallon to fill up my car. Maybe we shouldn't be shipping stuff overseas. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Let's get into this story here. Oh, this is the one that'll get you. U.S. energy exports are booming at the very time domestic gasoline and diesel prices are at or near their peaks. With America's fuel prices expected to rise even further, the resource nationalism debate should be exporting commodities we need. Should we be exporting commodities? I don't think we should, to be honest about it. According to the new tanker cargo volume data from Kepler, U.S. crude exports average 3.1 million barrels a day. 3.1 million barrels going out a day. Come on with it. That's the argument I say when we start or be pumping more oil. Everybody's like, well, we're a net exporter. And I'm like, why are we a net exporter? Because we don't have refining capacity. Maybe we should build more refineries. They always want these new good paying jobs. Come on, new good paying jobs. They want to build a battery factory out in the desert. Nobody's got no qualms on that one. You want to start mining lithium up in Nevada? Nobody cares. But no, God, no, don't build another refinery. I put it like this. There's reality and there's this agenda that they're on right now, the powers that be. And the problem is there's where we're at now and there's where they want to be. But there's all this reality in the middle. And they just want to hop over the reality and get to where they want to be. But you can't do that. You gotta muddle through the reality. You gotta figure out all those problems from point A to point B. You don't get to just skip over them. I guess you do if you're, a total D-bag and you don't care about all those people you're going to destroy in the middle. So, I don't know. My advice, if you're not getting like at least 6 miles a gallon, you need to be focused on fuel economy right now because there is no end to this. You know how they do it. It's it ticked down just a little bit, and then you know how it's going to do. They run it up, and then they tick it down a little bit. And then they run it up, and then they tick it down a little bit. And then they run it up, and then they tick it. But if you notice, it never comes down to where it was before. It just keeps steadily, you know, incrementally going up. So that's where we're at right now. I mean, I'm not surprised to see $8 a gallon, you know, by the fall. And I honestly, you know, last year I was saying we were probably going to see $10 a gallon this year. So, you know, hang on to your hats is what I got to say. This said, okay, so 3.1 million barrels a day in January through May. That's the best first 5 months of the year ever for exports of clean petroleum products, including the diesel and gasoline in such high demand domestically. Average 2.3 million barrels a day. That's the best first 5 months since 2019. U.S. gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel markets are tight because seaborne exports are now strong, whereas U.S. refining capacity is down 860,000 barrels a day relative to late 2019. Reed Anson, senior commodity analyst at Kepler, told American Shipper. This is a textbook case of a refinery sector that is running hard and yet does not have the capacity to meet demand, he said. This is not a problem easily fixed. Yeah, we should have been worried about this a long time ago, not just you know, all of a sudden. Because you don't just build a refinery on a knee-jerk reaction. Where are U.S. exports going? Here's the thing I like. Let's build back better, but let's do it in Europe. Given Monday's EU decision to ban tanker imports of Russian crude and products, U.S. crude and products exports to Europe are expected to rise. A portion of the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve released is already heading to Europe. Crude flows to Europe have definitely picked up. European imports from the U.S. were 1.27 million barrels a day in May. I hope that they're shipping it over there, refining it, and shipping it back. Because if not, we're getting hosed here. But why would they do that when we're you know, shipping out diesel and gasoline? You know, it just it's craziness. Let's see, a record high accounting for 40% of all imported U.S. barrels, with volumes favoring the Netherlands, Spain, and Italy. This has come at an expense of barrels to India, Canada, and South Korea. U.S. clean products exports are still overwhelmingly headed to Latin America as well. So apparently we're building back better Latin America. Come on with it, because, you know, according to Kepler data, Latin America accounted for 2.15 million barrels a day, or 87% of all U.S. seaborne imports to any destination in May. It is still possible that trade flows shift with more U.S. product heading to Europe, said Anson. I think the reason we haven't seen more of a shift yet is the fact that Russian clean and dirty petroleum products arrivals into the EU 27 have remained consistent, that is, until recently. In May, seaborne off-tankers from Russia were 1.28 million barrels a day, down 155,000 barrels a day against January. So basically, they're shipping it over there. Resource nationalism grows. It says, Europe, we have heightened demand for U.S. petroleum combined with America's COVID-reduced refining capacity might lead some to ask, why not curb exports and keep the oil in America? That is a great question. Resource nationalism is on the rise globally. Most recently, India has introduced export restrictions for wheat, Indonesia for palm oil, and Malaysia for chickens. China has reduced export quotas for gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Last week, Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm was asked whether U.S. Export restrictions were possible. She replied, I can confirm the president is not taking any tools off the table. Oh, I'm sure he's got every tool on the table you could imagine. You know what I always say? You are the tool. Stifel shipping analyst Ben Nolan said of Granholm's comment, hopefully this was a simple political positioning in a midterm election year, because if not, we think it represents significant unawareness regarding the very sector being overseen. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. If there's a ban, the implications for the U.S. oil and gas industry and the global economy would be extremely negative, Nolan said in a new client note. A ban would cause a sharp increase in the price of crude internationally, inevitably weakening the global economy. Oh yeah. Let's save the global economy while your boy Cash here goes broke buying diesel. That's a great idea. Great idea. Love where Captain saved the world again. Oh, can we stop meddling and just deal with our own situation here? A resulting drop in U.S. oil drilling would cause a sharp fall in natural gas production, very likely leading to limiting LNG exports at the very time the world needs the gas more than ever. You know who's got oil for sale? I'm pretty sure Russia's got some oil for sale. Let me ask you guys, if you could buy diesel for $2.50 a gallon, but you knew it came from Russia, would you buy it and burn it? Just saying. Just a question, just throwing it out there. If you knew you could get diesel locked in, you could lock it in for $2.50 a gallon, would you burn that Russian oil? You know, my political affiliation is my back pocket, so you know, make of that what you want. Potential fallout. Let's see. The U.S. banned crude exports and continued others than Canada between 1975 and the end of 2015. In November 2021, long before the recent price surge, 11 senators asked President Joe Biden to consider all tools available at your disposal to lower U.S. gasoline prices, a ban on crude oil exports. So, you know, this isn't anything new. Like, this is something we've been, you know, thinking about for a couple years now. But apparently, you know, this is where we're at. And if you think, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be hard to survive in trucking. You know, it just is. Like, if you don't run the most fuel efficient operation, you don't get some help, you know, with some luck, and your truck stays on the road without breaking down all the time, that's about what it's going to take. I mean, you know, I tell you right now, if I had I'd probably be pulling the stacks off my truck. If I had anything that was under aerodynamic, I'd probably be taking it off right now. I'd turn that stack into a weed burner. You know, I know that's sacrilege to a bunch of you guys out there, but hey, let's face it. It's going to get to the point to where you can't afford the truck. You know, if you're getting 5 miles a gallon, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but at $8 a gallon, I mean, what are you paying in fuel there? Like $1.30, $1.40 a mile just on fuel? I mean, it's hard to find rates that support that operation right now. It is a bummer. It is a bummer. I know where we're at, but you know, don't shoot the messenger here. I'm just the messenger. You know, if you want to take it out on anybody, you know, take it out on the powers that be. You know, I don't know. I hear a lot of people say they like this Elon Musk guy. I'm like, you don't think he's pushing a lot of this agenda? Like, you don't think these guys that's got all this money and this power and this push? You don't think he wants everybody in an electric car and an electric semi and mining lithium for the living? I mean, come on. I mean, that's just my take on it, though. But that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in for special edition Trucker News. Smash that like button if you could. On the way out, check out that description down below for all the other Cash is King stuff. Check out my second channel. Click on one of these other videos if you want to keep watching Cash. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Take care of each other out there. Remember, people are more important than trucking.